might be trolling the white hats or whatever that is. Or spiritual propaganda. It's for those who can't save themselves. So, you gotta love it, right? Also, yeah, the delusional, spiritual delusion energies, and I don't take too much in detail into that one. I hope that's self-explanatory, but maybe not. Especially those that have I feel like they have memories of like their SSP lifetimes, and a lot of it's just made up. Even for those that are writing books about it. Whatever. Hey, if it pays well, I guess it is. Who cares? You can trick yourself into anything. Some more power to you on that one. So, yeah, hurricane's coming straight here. I have to go to work in the morning because we're all poor and we're desperate for work to earn $1 or whatever, $1.25 or whatever it is. So, yeah, the free market. Yeah, I think I don't know if it's a hurricane yet, or I saw something like maybe a Hurricane 3, Category 3, yeah, whatever. That's we can't handle. Don't enough of it. Yeah, the month isn't over yet, apparently. The Middle East is kind of out of control. It actually feels like it's calmed down a little bit. So who knows? It might be just more. Yeah, they'll have. I mean, it's not the end of the world or anything like that. We're not that lucky. Yeah, many more years of spiritual delusion. Lucky us. Yeah, my boss's energy has been around. Yeah, that's the whole thing is so. It's like, why do people like that? I mean, they've been pain in the ass their whole life, and then now they get to finally die. I think they're gonna like live forever. And it's just, you know, so if any of us die, at least if I die, you know, I'll be fucking having a blast. Won't miss this place, that's for sure. We have a big block party. All spirit guys are all get Fs. They'll get their report cards like it's Fs. F all down the line. Higher self F. And be a big block party. And don't care about the SSP or any other nonsense that's here. JFK Jr. Heard that one recently. Oh my God, just make it stop. Sometimes when you're deaf and blind, I think you're lucky. I never think about it much. You have to listen to all this crap. Of course, the devil just finds some way to get it to you, though. So anyway, so the white hats and people that need to be saved. Yeah, if that's the case, have fun. Yeah, that's not good vibes. Let's put it that way. Well, yeah, because then that's like putting a contract to someone that's going to save you all the time. It's kind of selling out to someone that saves you too. So whatever. Sounds correct. If it's the right person, that's not going to save. If it's a real white hat, they won't save anybody. Who knows? A lot of this stuff's made up anyway. It's just to give a false security out there. I mean, yeah, there's obviously a little bit of both, but it all depends on the individual what you're going to, what you need to go through. So it's just I guess it's just so just need to hear that for some. Like I say, the delusion here is just at an ultra mac, and just. It's like a mental illness. So anyway, yeah, that's right. The whole system went down again twice. So I got a double cleaning. It should be fine now, hopefully. In time for the hurricane. That was how I come at prepositions. Schedule or shop here. with the white hat energy. I know, I just felt that. Yeah, false security that's out there. Oh well. You gotta go through what you gotta go through, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Neither one of these subject matters are all anything to get excited about. Yeah, so spiritual delusion is just for those that can't handle anything or just need this new earth, which is a religion, basically, and secret space program, another religion. So you got all these religions, white hat religion, the people that need to be saved religion. So it just gets better and better. Of course, you have the conspiracy theorists that are hitting the panic button constantly. And but they only do that, the ones that are popular, they just do that because society just it's the drama of what, yeah, they just haven't quite broken free of it, that it is a process. That's, you gotta kind of, I guess what happens with the panic stuff, the World War III talk. So they keep doing it, and that does wake people up to say, wait a minute, none of this is ever happening. But they keep joking about it constantly. The end of the internet's still here. And so all these conspiracy, like you wake up from the conspiracy, of course, then you get pulled into the spiritual, dosage of nowhereness, and you get lost there for another 10 years, or whatever it is, or forever, a lifetime. That's why connecting to self is the most important. Well, easier said than done. So just gotta go with it. So yeah, my boss's energy, just to go into that, yeah, he was like really real nightmare when he was here. And now he's in spirit as another nightmare. It morphs into one nightmare to another. And I wonder why my family, he gets to leave it, my family is just as bad or worse at times. As far as they're allowed to stay here, which is kind of weird, but whatever, we can't go too much into that. But yeah, he did, I give you like a short version, I feel like he did fail. I guess you could say he failed a lot, but something he was supposed to do, he didn't do it, and that's why they kicked him out. It's like, you didn't do this, and now you're gone. Everyone's losing their minds right now, which is understood. Family is all messed up. Yeah, because he didn't plan for retirement in the right way, you could say. Trust other people, let's put it that way. To not go into all the details. He wasn't very trusting. That's why he's been a nightmare his whole life. And it came back to him. So, and he's running around like he's still here. Oh yeah, so I saw the cricket. That was a grasshopper, but I saw a cricket. It was on my car. I knew it was him. Shit. He was holding on for dear life. I just ignored him. I took a picture of it, but I just ignored it. I'm not dealing with that crap. So, anyway, alright, we're going, fucking White House stuff, jeez, it's like a lost world there. Yeah, good luck with that one. Yeah, the White Hat stuff, like underground bases, they're doing this mass arrests, and which you never see here, like, ever. Yeah, it's entertainment. Delusion, entertainment, welcome to Earth. When you leave here, hopefully you get more balance with yourself. Maybe here if you're lucky. Just a bunch of noise. Oh well, gotta get out of your system somehow. So alright, I don't know what to tap into. They're both like lost causes. Yeah, it's too bad. Like the tarot cards, that's where I saw it. The white hats and the tarot card, they pull out tarot cards, like the white hats are coming to get us. It's so sad. It's such a sad world. Well, delusion is good in that regard because you're happy and delusional, and you're just living in a bubble, and that's probably for the best. But then there's delusion, like you're just way out there, just gone, just oh well, whatever. Ignorance is bliss, I guess. So yeah, that's what we're here to burst a lot of bubbles. That's for damn sure. I've had a lot of backlash because of that. But you have no choice. I mean, you do it gradually. You're not like forcing it, but come on, freaking world, jeez. That's a sad world, whatever. All right, so we'll just go into astral connection. We'll just do the neutral energies of that, of why the white hat energy is so easy to fall for, and spiritual delusional energies, whatever that is. That does come from trauma, of course, and there's a lot of that out there from gathering, which makes sense. And then they get pulled in these mental traps, trying to pull themselves out, which makes sense. Try to have some hope for themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just too much of a bad thing. And like those that find Jesus and all that, and this fucking Christian crazy, and then they go, is there any end to it? Because they can take, so if you're like chasing Jesus constantly, like in a toxic way, like that's the savior, and then you can die and cross over and still be obsessed with that energy. It doesn't end here. You can go there too. You're just now a spirit being, and that's all psychotic. So it just doesn't. This is why they get kicked back here, because it just, it's hard to clear that stuff. So, well, it's rough. It's a rough ride. That's why we're here to get beaten up. That's why leaving here is. That's why they won't let us leave here. It's like, because we have too much fun. So we're here. Ugh. To the. Oh well, whatever. Well, some like myself, I get just throw all this crap at you. Anyway, all right. So here we go. This goes to a neutral connection, and yeah. All right, what's this? Greens uses energies from astral. Yes, the neutral connection, a collective consciousness, basically, to help you connect to who you are. Well, slowly, but that's not as. It's like being real with yourself. As for the white hat frequencies, this has been done throughout the past. The knights, the white knights to come save, and there has been versions of that, of course. I mean, yeah, even some of your policemen are there to assist, and not many are chasing them for savior. I guess some of them are, but it's not. Most are running away from them for many reasons. But with the white hat frequencies, it is linked to trauma, also mind control. To be obsessed with that, it's another trickster frequency, basically. So you get pulled into another a program to pull you into this type of savior mentality, especially those that have been through a lot and they need some kind of savior, some kind of hero. Jesus has always been one of them. Not that he wouldn't help, but it can get overkill for an entity like that also. But of course, he's always there for others. He's not always there for himself, and that's something he has to go through. So yes, he sacrifices energy here. He can't seem to heal his own journey. It's hard to do that when somebody are relying on him all the time. He's finding more faults within himself. It's like Yeshua is similar to like a Tony Robbins, you can say, of his time to some level, and got pulled into his own propaganda. He tried to get known. He got pulled into a lot of mind control himself also, and so he's warning too. Hard lessons, yes. Well, it's like you're playing with fire and then you get torched. He's dealing with that, so a lot of self-reflection It's like, be careful what you ask for, and then it just burns them. The other thing about, yes, careful what you ask for, yes, as for success, of course, yes, well, success can be balanced. Yeah, we're not going to go too deep into that because many don't feel successful here. Well, being here is a success, even difficult as it is. Given through each day is a success. Um, yes, might not be the most exciting, but to be able to live the next day and accomplish what you're here to accomplish, even if you don't feel like you're accomplishing anything, at least you feel like you're on some kind of path of accomplishment. Getting through the day is very important, actually. And as for like what many are always wondering as to what direction they need to go into, you just follow your feelings. That's all you can do. What comes to mind? Are you feeling like you're doing everything you can? Now, there might be such, doesn't mean you have to save the world. Yes, saving yourself. It's like you're on what do you call it? Say a roller coaster, and you're just holding. Not to say you're holding on for dear life. Some might feel that way, but it's just when you're in the car and it's already moving, you just have to go with it where it takes you. So yes, obviously getting out is not what's cracked up to be, and it doesn't always work. Not really. Not when you're going. No, because your incarnations are actually going fast. It might not feel that way here. It is dirt slow to some level, because there's just so much to get through. It's like going through a jungle. You just gotta go about it slowly, so you don't get bitten or anything like that. Or sometimes they go fast and get around that, but it depends on the situation. But it's still pretty slow compared to the astral realms. As for spiritual delusion energies, yes, it's like being swallowed up by the soup of mind control. And yes, it sounds very nice and fluffy, and yes, unicorns and what is it? Unicorns and pink bunnies and whatever else that's out there. And there's different versions of it, but it sounds ice cream, mental ice cream. Mental sugar, probably mental ice cream is probably the best way to describe it. It sounds good, but eventually you have to come home to yourself and just, it's good to cut the fat, but it's up to you. It's a journey, yes. It's some do hold on to that. Well, they get pulled into religion. But one thing about religion, like your Catholic religions, are similar to it, to that. They feel like it's the wrong thing to do to let it go. Like you need to hold on to it. Now, if you're strong enough, where you just felt like you ran through the cycle, you can let it go. But it's also it's that's why you come back here several times. It's like, wow, I was that off. It's like, yes. And but it's a good thing coming back to it's like you're taking the test again. Yes, it's a lifetime test, but when you're doing better, it's worth it. When you're failing, yes, it's hard, but it's worth it also. Just very difficult. And of course, when you're not that we're promoting you need to keep coming back here. We're just saying for those that do come back here, there is a positivity towards it, even if you don't feel especially heavily challenged. But to be able to get another shot at it, and third and fourth shot, hopefully you're evolving. It's all neutral, so you can do it as many times as you need to. Not that anyone's promoting you need to do the same thing constantly. But the idea is to just, the astral realm is very, very neutral. It's like we're just there to assist you, do as you must. And we're just here to help you through it. Remember all the challenges you went through. Maybe you can avoid some of those obstacles so you can have some decency, some kind of life, whatever it might be. What was it? Yes, Rick and Morty did bring up some of that. Like, we put down this. We can just coast through life. It's not that easy. We put on this VR set and you can go through life just like you'd be surprised. Like in a TV show, they showed that like you just did in a couple of seconds. You'd be surprised how much you miss with that. It's just not the same. But incarnating here is very delicate. It's a lot of details. That it's like living in a maze, basically, but you have to find your way out. And you can manifest a quick exit, or always out of the troubles that you're going through. And obviously, when you're here, you're just like, well, I'm here. I can handle the challenges. I'm not gonna like any of these challenges, but might as well, because on the astral realms, you have everything that you need. Well, meaning like relationships and all that, and you come here and you're like, come here and you're alone. You're by yourself most of the time. For those that are, and yeah, it's difficult, but it's also like sometimes you work better alone. Doesn't mean you have to be alone forever, but there is, especially a world like this, like you don't want too many distractions. But it doesn't mean you can't be alone. You have to go about it alone forever. And as for soulmate frequencies, they do exist for everyone here to some level. It doesn't mean you have to run into them. We'll just call it. We just use that term, or kindred, whatever you want to call it. But there is. It doesn't mean you have to run into it. It depends on what you're going through. You do connect to them astrally, but it's like what it depends on what you're going through here. Like if you feel like you need to connect to them or not. And it's just like, can they handle what you're going through? They look at where you're going. Not that they don't care, but it's like, damn, what the hell? It's like, yeah, be right with you. 10 years later, well, things aren't going as way as I thought it would. So you are connecting. Some of you might be able to feel it. Possibly. It's not that important, but somebody's out there, and it's accurate. It just doesn't. It's not physical a lot of times. Those that are alone here and just haven't really had the right physical connection. A lot of it's connecting with yourself. It also has to do with what you're going through too. Do you need to bring someone else into the situation, especially if you're going through all these challenges? So it's kind of like riding a horse through a derby, through a obstacle course, and it's like, yes, you have the horse or your animals that you're with to assist you, but it's like, it's not everybody can handle the storm that you're going through. And that's sometimes better just to, like the relationship energy can come in. Not that it's there to hold, it can't hold you back. Not it's trying to, but it can. It's like what you're trying to figure out, and yeah, it's a lot of pieces to that. So, and sometimes if you're on your spiritual journey, as much as you want to bring someone into your incarnation, it's like, yes, you're connected to your shaman energies, like your monk connections. You actually become, like, if you're already on your spiritual journey and you feel like you're really connecting, that alone time is very critical, actually, to find yourself, find your your plateau. Somebody has to call it spiritual mumbo jumbo or whatever. And that might be some truth, but also it's like you're sharpening your frequency, you're figuring yourself out. There's no room for anybody else but what you're doing. It's like, it doesn't mean you're trying to push anybody out, but you're just truly, you're crystallizing who you are and figuring out. It's a big deal. It's like a rebirth. It's a big deal, and that's why you can't always have a relationship there, because it's like you can barely handle it yourself. Give you some detail on that. For those that might brought a partner in that's here to learn from you, welcome to the hurricane. Can they? Yeah, and they're on their spiritual journey. Can they handle it? It's like, it's not all. As some of you know, it's not all what it's cracked up to be. So you have wizardry, spells, and all this black magic situations. It's just like you can barely survive on your own, let alone bring someone else, into it. So, yes, it's a lot of details there. But for those that give you some, like you're connecting to your, we just call it the soulmate, kindred spirit, whatever. I believe like majority of you have someone here at some. That doesn't mean you meet them, but they are here. Obviously they're astrally, but they can also be there physically. It doesn't mean, I guess it doesn't mean they have to run into them. You'd be surprised. You see them at the grocery store, not even realize it. You might feel something there, but then it burns off. But either way, what matters really is what you're getting out of this, and eventually some kind of comfort will come in at some point. So, but those of you going through a lot, yeah, a lot of times you're going through other people's closet, their stuff, their skeletons, and when they cross over, they see all their nonsense, and they might not always want to see it, but say, hey, by the way, did this, and cause all these troubles. Not to put you on the spot, but you're a pain. Yeah, you're a pain, and they're not always wanting to see that. Sometimes it makes them worse, and that's after they cross over. As some of you notice that. All right, so blessings.